The city was waking up, sunlight spilling between skyscrapers like a slow-motion waterfall. I was on my usual morning jog, just another face in the crowd, when something on the pavement caught my eye. It was a wallet. A thick, expensive-looking leather wallet, lying right there on the sidewalk. I glanced around. The street was a blur of hurried footsteps and distant sirens. No one seemed to have noticed it. Curiosity got the better of me. I picked it up. The leather felt soft, worn in just the right way. It felt heavy. I opened it, and my heart skipped a beat. Then another. It was stuffed with cash. Not just a few bills, but thick wads of hundreds. I'd never seen so much money in one place. My hands started to tremble. I quickly ducked into a nearby alley, my heart pounding against my ribs like a drum. I counted it, again, and then a third time, just to be sure. $10,000. Exactly $10,000. My mind started racing, painting a dozen different pictures of what this money could do for me. It could pay off my student loans in one go. It could be the down payment on that small apartment I'd been dreaming of. It could be a ticket to a new life, a fresh start, away from the daily grind and the constant worry about bills. No one saw me pick it up. There were no cameras in this little alley. The universe had just handed me a winning lottery ticket. Finders keepers, right? A little voice in my head, the one that sounded suspiciously like my stressed-out bank account, was screaming at me to take it. Just walk away. Your life changes today. It felt like a test. A crazy, once-in-a-lifetime test. But then I saw the ID, a driver's license tucked into a side pocket. The photo showed a man, probably in his late 60s, with kind eyes and a warm, grandfatherly smile. His name was Arthur. There was also a picture tucked behind the license. It was a faded photo of the same man with a younger woman and two little kids, all of them grinning at the camera on what looked like a beach vacation. They looked so happy. Suddenly, the money didn't feel like a lottery ticket anymore. It felt like a story, Arthur's story. Maybe this money was for his grandkids' college fund. Maybe it was for a crucial medical procedure for his wife. Maybe it was his entire life savings, withdrawn for some important reason. The $10,000 that could solve all my problems could be the very thing that created a catastrophic one for him and his family. The image of his smiling face, the happy family photo, it was haunting me. I thought about the panic he must be feeling right now. The frantic search, the cold dread washing over him as he realized his wallet was gone. I've lost my wallet before with maybe $50 inside, and the feeling was awful. I couldn't even imagine what losing this much would feel like. It would be devastating. The internal battle was intense. One side of me, the practical, selfish side, was making a very compelling case. The world is tough. You have to look out for number one. This is your chance, a gift from fate. Don't be a fool and throw it away. But the other side, the one my parents tried so hard to build, kept showing me Arthur's face. It kept reminding me of the simple principle of doing the right thing, even when no one is watching, especially when no one is watching. I stood there in that alley for what felt like an eternity, the weight of the wallet feeling heavier and heavier in my hands. It wasn't just a wallet anymore, it was a choice. A choice about the kind of person I wanted to be. Did I want to be someone who benefits from another person's misfortune? Or someone who could sleep at night, knowing I hadn't added to someone else's pain? My financial struggles were real. The temptation was immense, almost overwhelming, but the thought of my temporary relief causing permanent heartbreak for Arthur and his family was a price I just could stomach. The mental images of what I could buy with the money started to fade, replaced by the image of relief on that old man's face when he got his wallet back. I took a deep breath. The decision was made. It wasn't easy, but it was clear. I pulled out my phone and looked up the address on his driver's license. It was on the other side of town, in a quiet, suburban neighborhood. Not a mansion, just a regular house. I closed the wallet, put it securely in my pocket, and started walking towards the nearest subway station. My morning jog was over, but a new journey had just begun. The subway ride was long. With every stop, the little voice of doubt tried to creep back in. Are you crazy? You're walking away from financial freedom. But I just kept picturing that family photo. That's what I held on to. An hour later, I was standing in front of a modest, well-kept house with a beautiful garden out front. It looked like a happy home. I hesitated for a moment on the doorstep, my heart still beating a little too fast, and then I rang the bell. The door opened, and there he was, Arthur. He looked older than his photo, his face etched with worry. His kind eyes were filled with anxiety. Before I could even say anything, he asked, "Yes, can I help you?" His voice was strained. I held out the wallet. "I think you might have lost this," I said, my own voice a little shaky. The transformation on his face was something I will never forget. The deep lines of worry seemed to vanish. His eyes widened, first in disbelief, then in immense, overwhelming relief. He took the wallet from my hand, his fingers trembling as he opened it and saw the cash still inside. He looked from the wallet to me, and his eyes started to well up with tears. I don't know what to say," he stammered, his voice thick with emotion. "I thought it was gone forever. My wife, she needs surgery next week. This was for the hospital." And there it was. The story, the reality behind the $10,000. It wasn't for a vacation or a new car. It was for someone's health, for his wife. My throat went tight. In that moment, any lingering doubt I had was completely vaporized. I knew with absolute certainty that I had made the right choice. He insisted on giving me a reward. He pulled out a few $100 bills, but I gently pushed his hand away. "No, really?" I said. "I couldn't. Just knowing it got back to you is enough." We talked for a few minutes. He told me about his wife, their kids, and the grandkids in the photo. He was just a good person in a tough situation. He thanked me again and again with a sincerity that was more valuable than any amount of money. Walking away from his house, I felt light. I was still broke. My student loans were still there. My tiny apartment was still waiting for me. Nothing about my financial situation had changed, but I had changed. I felt richer than I had when I was holding that $10,000 in my hands. It was a different kind of wealth, a kind that doesn't show up on a bank statement. That day taught me a powerful lesson. Integrity isn't about what you do when people are watching. It's about the choices you make when you re all alone in an alley with a lost wallet. It's about choosing character over cash. And that's a choice I'll never regret. My problems are still my problems, but now I know I can face them with a clear conscience. And honestly, that feeling is priceless. Thanks for watching.